evening, everyone. At this time, I will call this City Commission meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. on August 10th, 2017. We will stand at this time for our invocation from Pastor Tim Spivey, and we'll follow that by our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Holy Father, we come to you thanking you, Lord, for being almighty and all-powerful, God, for being the creator, sustainer of life. God, for the mercy and grace, forgiveness that you give to us. We're thankful for our friends and family. Lord, for our community. Lord, for the safety that we have, the protection that you give us by your angels. We're thankful. God, for the freedoms that you have allowed us by way of the Constitution, by the way of our laws, Lord. Freedom to worship and speak and think as we feel, and to pursue happiness, Lord, to do so many things that so many people in other countries are not able to do. God, thank you for protection that you provide by way of our first responders, our military, police, or those who watch out for us. God, I pray that you'll be with them and cover them with your hands of protection. Keep them safe, Lord, as they watch out for us. Lord, for our elected leaders, Lord, for representatives, for commissioners, or for those who lead us. We just pray that they'll lead us with wisdom and knowledge, and Lord, help us to follow them and help them to lead in the right way in keeping with your will. God, I pray that you'll give us a heart for peace and love, happiness, Lord, and that we will love others like you love us. Be with us all. Help us to love you more each and every day. Forgive us. In such name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Spivey, we thank you so very much for that prayer. Roll call, please.
Mayor James.
Here.
Vice Mayor Evans.
Here.
Jameson.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Williams.
Yeah.
All right. Have we looked at the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All right. It is properly moved in second.
Do I need to say the amended agenda?
It was sent out ahead of time, so that's the one that you
Okay. All right.
Sorry. No problem. All right. It's been properly moved in second that the amended agenda be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it, 5-0. Approval of minutes of July 27, 2017.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from July 27th, 2017.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved in second that the minutes from July 27, 2017 be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, the ayes have it, 5-0. Minutes are approved. Unfinished business, item number 1. Consider ordinance 2017-7.
Madam Mayor, this is ordinance number 2017-07, an ordinance of the City of High Springs, Florida, pursuant to a petition number ANXZ 17-00042, relating to voluntary annexation, making findings, annexing to and including within the boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida, certain real property located in Alachua County, Florida, which is reasonably compact and contiguous to the boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida, redefining the boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida, providing for land use classification of the real property to be annexed, providing that effective January 1st, 2018, the real property to be annexed shall be assessed for payment of municipal ad valorem taxes and shall be subject to all general and special assessments, providing that existing licensed businesses, trades, or professions operating within the real property to be annexed may continue such businesses, trades, or professions throughout the entire boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida, Directing the city clerk within 7 days of the effective date of this ordinance to file certified copies of this ordinance to the Florida Department of State, Florida Office of Economic and Demographic Research, the clerk of the Circuit Court of Alachua County, Florida, the chief administrative officer of Alachua County, Florida, the property appraiser of Alachua County, Florida, the tax collector of Alachua County, Florida, and to all public utilities authorized to conduct business within the city of High Springs, Florida, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass ordinance number 2017-07 as read by title only.
All right, at this time, I will open up the public hearing.
Thank you, Commission. My name's David Levins. The business I've got is surplus equipment that the city of High Springs has. Wondering if there could be a date set, or if y'all could talk about having an auction soon in the future.
This is open for public.
For this action. I'm sorry.
The citizens request and comment.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Hold on 1 second. Won't take long.
All right, seeing no one on this issue, I will close public input. Discussion.
I think we talked about it last time. I mean, it's voluntary. They want it. It'll help us. I mean.
All right, I'll entertain a motion if there's no discussion.
Make a motion to pass ordinance 2017-7.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved in second. Roll call, please, Ms. Palmer.
Mayor James?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Evans?
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries 5-0. Now, we will open up for citizens' requests and comments for issues that are not on the agenda, and please state your name for the record. Limit comments to 5 minutes.
Again, my name's David Levins. I was wondering about some surplus equipment that the city of High Springs has. If I could make a motion for y'all to have an auction, or if y'all could set a possible date for an auction in the near future. I know a couple months ago there was a fire truck, and then it's brought my attention there's another fire truck that might be available too. So anyway, if I could leave my information and have somebody contact me, or
Sure,
I just don't want to have.
Come on up here, and we'll. No. I'm sorry. Come up to my office.
I'll come to your office.
Yeah, next week, and,
Sure.
and we'll certainly talk, and we'll figure out what's surplus around here.
Sure, I know it's got to be advertised, but
You bet.
I've asked a couple of times, and I don't want to call the wrong person
Sure.
too many times. Just want to see if I can go right to the source.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Booth, I'll see you next week sometime.
You bet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Commission. I'm Alicia Antone, Branch Manager at the High Springs Branch Library. I'm here tonight to share with the community, local and surrounding communities, about a solar eclipse viewing party that we're having at the library on Monday, August 21st. On a first-come, first-served basis, you'll be able to get a free viewer to be able to view the eclipse safely. And we are asking that people come out and enjoy this historic event. And we also will have a free raffle of this book by two astronomers by the name of Pat and Fred Espinack that will share with you the historical perspectives of the eclipse, as well as those that will be coming in the future. Just wanted to share that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, seeing no one else, we'll move right along to new business. Item number 1, consider approval of modification to the interlocal agreement for the public school facilities planning.
I think you may be on the old agenda.
No, I'm on the amended.
Yeah. Did you say public schools plan?
Public schools facility planning.
Oh, my bad.
That's what mine says.
Madam Mayor, this Florida statutes require that our local school boards enter into an interlocal agreement with the county and any local municipalities about school facility planning. And so in 2008, High Springs entered into that interlocal agreement with the other municipalities, county, and the School Board of Alachua County. That was amended in 2012. And now the school board has voted to reduce the concurrency circles from 9 to 3 as it relates to elementary schools in Alachua County. And so they have voted on that, and they came out, not at the last meeting, but they've come out and given you a presentation on this, and now they're seeking to amend that interlocal again, just as it relates to the concurrency districts for elementary schools in our area. And so that is what is before you tonight.
Okay, any comments?
No, the gentleman came out here and explained it and the reason behind it and everything, so
Yes, he did.
I'll make a motion to approve the modifications to the interlocal agreement.
Second.
All right, it has been properly moved and seconded that the modification to the interlocal agreement be approved. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries 5-0. Item number 2, consider resolution 2017-N.
Madam Mayor, I'll read this resolution by title only. And the resolution is the resolution of the City of High Springs, Florida, relating to provision of fire services facilities and programs within the City of High Springs, Florida, establishing the rate of assessment, imposing fire services assessments against assessed property located within the City of High Springs for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2017, approving the assessment roll, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2017-N as read by title only.
All right. Comments or discussion? All right.
Assessments 112, correct? Is
Yes.
what it's being proposed?
Yes, sir. Staff recommendation is 112 on the fire assessment. I know we talked about balancing fire department at 100 at the city manager's recommendation. After sitting down with the finance director and going through some budgetary items at 112, we were able to achieve what we need to within the budget.
Okay, so the money just on this, so when you get the money that's raised from this, it's earmarked for fire, can't go anyplace else.
Correct.
You can't rob it, stick it anyplace else, so the people know that this specific money is going to support. What about the, I saw you at the, we spoke at the deal, just real quick, the mass thing, just so we understand the costs we're talking about.
By running the assessment at 112, there was no increase of general fund transfers into the fire department. We were able to balance that way. On top of that, we were able to put in $25,000 in capital outlay to be able to purchase 4 more air packs to continue our air pack purchase program, which last meeting, I believe it was, the state came in and presented the check for 4 air packs at that point. Total cost of the program for the air packs is around $211,000. So we're trying to do it piece by piece before the ones we have currently expires.
I just want to make sure when people, when they hear the raise, they understand that the raise is specifically for fire and it's to purchase the air packs. It isn't just to sort of arbitrarily do something. It's very specific.
There's a very specific task at hand, yes.
Type of deal, so yeah, let's roll with it.
So we still have in place for those that having hardship, they can.
Yes, sir. Nothing has changed other than the yearly rate.
Okay.
I thought you had your pen up. Oh, okay.
Thanks sometime.
Okay. All right, any other comments? Concerns? All right.
I'll make a motion to pass.
You have to come
up to the podium, please.
State your name.
You can't hide, bud.
You're on camera.
Question about that 112. Is that a month or yearly thing, or is it?
That's the yearly fee. It breaks down to about $9.33.
Okay. That's the only question I really had about that. Was that yearly or just like a one-time?
That's a yearly fee.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll make a motion past 2007.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that resolution number 2017N be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Vice Mayor Evans,
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Daniels.
Yes. All right, motion carries 5-0. Item number 3 is consider ordinance 2017-8.
Madam Mayor, this is an ordinance of 2017-08, an ordinance of the City of High Springs, Florida, amending the future land use plan map of the City of High Springs Comprehensive Plan as amended, relating to an amendment of 10 or less acres of land pursuant to an application CPA-Z17-000044 by property owners of said acreage, under the amendment procedures established in sections 163.3161 through 163.3248 of Florida statutes, as amended, providing for a change in the land use classification from county rural agriculture less than or equal to 5 dwelling units per acre to city mixed use less than or equal to 12 dwelling units per gross acre on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of High Springs, Florida, providing subdivision, repealing all ordinances of conflict, and providing an effective date. Appropriate motion is to pass ordinance 2017-08 upon its reading by title only.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we open for discussion and consideration.
Madam Mayor, this would be quasi-judicial. If we do have any testimony, then they would need to be sworn in and take testimony under oath.
Any comments from your aides?
If there's any extra discussions that have been held outside of, we call it ex parte in the law. If there's any of those discussions you've had outside of this hearing, then you're supposed to put that on the record now.
See none.
The Planning and Zoning Board went over it, approved it. There'll be a number of these over the next few months for small annexations.
The reason being that when you take property in via annexation, the zoning doesn't change until such time as the city takes jurisdiction over the property for zoning purposes. And so that's what we're doing. And the problem is applying the county's zoning code to our property is a problem. And so your manager is exactly right. You want to get the zoning matched up with the city zoning. That's what's happening here.
It's 3.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Commissioners?
sorry. Yeah, it's 3.
The only question I have in this, the land use plan, is there's no language, I read through it, but I just want, there's no language in here exempting anybody that if they happen to be in the urban use area, exempting them from sewer, water hookup, or so forth. That is not in this at all.
Correct. And in fact, if they're in the urban reserve territory, they have to apply.
Okay.
Okay. We all satisfied?
Yes.
All right.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2017-08.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved in second. Ms. Palm?
Commissioner Jameson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Evans.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 5-0.
You know, Jenny, he's been around here the longest. You think he'd know his voice over anybody?
All right, moving along to item number 4.
Madam Mayor, this is ordinance number 2017-09, an ordinance of the City of High Springs, Florida, amending the official zoning map of the City of High Springs Land Development Code as amended, relating to the rezoning of less than 10 contiguous acres of land pursuant to an application LPC-AUZ 17-000001 by the property owners of said acres, providing for rezoning of county agricultural A to city C3 commercial of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of High Springs, Florida, preventing all ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass ordinance number 2017-09 as read by title only.
Thank you. All right. Comments, discussion.
And there's same thing, quasi-judicial.
Quasi-judicial.
If you have any extra talks with anyone concerning this outside of the room, we have to put that on the record now as an ex parte communication.
And like the planning and zoning looked at it, talked it with the individuals and recommend approval.
Very good.
This would be from Allison, what do you call it? Is this the planning, is she involved in this part of it?
She is, but not the planning and zoning board.
Okay. The only thing that I thought on here so people would know when we read through it, and I know we did, is they do traffic studies, they do the sewer runoff, they get water runoff. So they checked all the stuff to make sure that whatever the change, it didn't affect any of the geography, geology, or anything like this in the traffic. So all of those were done and no issues, no impact by changing it. So I say let's pass it. So I
need a motion.
Is that a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on ordinance 2017-9. Ms. Palmer?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries 5-0. It's approved. Next item is item number 5. Appoint members to the Plan Board and Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Comments, concerns? I see our names are listed on our request form. We have two vacancies for our planning board.
We only have one vacancy, and 2 applicants applied for it. This is the vacancy for the position of design, and it actually ends November of this year, so it's only 2 months.
Okay.
And then they would have to be reappointed in November during our reorganization.
Okay.
Do we have anybody else coming off the planning board at that time?
I believe one other. They may choose to reapply, but
Yeah.
So
Are either of the 2 applicants for the planning board present by any chance?
Neither one.
Are they husband and wife? Just to share with, I don't want to.
I'm gonna vote for Wilson, Michael.
I didn't think about that. Husband and wife.
yeah, so I see. Okay, Ron applying for the planning board, and the other.
So did she, planning board.
Oh, okay, I see here now.
Are we gonna accommodate this for Ronald?
Have to make a decision.
That's not what
Oh, he can get in there. He can get in too. He just can come up here, but he can sit out there.
you can sit out front out there.
we would set up a table.
Out here for him. Ronald is in the wheelchair, that's why I asked.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Wilson, retired captain. I think he'd be good for the planning board because he's well knowledgeable with the community, and he'll voice his concerns for the community.
All right.
So I nominate Ronald Wilson for planning board. I said he'll be committed.
Yes, he will.
I don't know either one of the candidates, so if you're comfortable nominating Ron, I'll second the motion.
I just want to make sure, yeah.
I like Ron as well. Any other comments?
No.
No? All right, so Ronald will,
So need a vote? Do we vote?
yeah, we have to vote on him, correct? Right, all those in favor of Ronald Wilson being appointed to the planning board, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All right, motion carries 5-0. All right, now we have an appointee for the recreation for the Park and Recreation Board. We only have one candidate.
Right.
It's easy. And this is just an alternate, right? It's not, okay.
Yeah, alternate position.
I make a motion to appoint Christina Young to the Parks and Recreation alternate position.
Second.
Second. All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Ms. Christina Young be appointed to the Parks and Recreation Board as an alternate. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries 5-0. Okay. Next item is number 6. Discuss and provide direction to staff regarding cancellation of contract for James Paul Park steps.
Actually, I just need the council to approve a payment here. I think in good faith, the gentleman did what he was told to do. There seemed to be some cross communications on what was wanted. And so we wound up without a project, but he put a fair amount of effort, and he bought a lot of lumber.
Uh-oh.
And so I have a letter in the next packet to solve this particular problem.
Because I know the steps was up. They was there.
Steps, so.
But, well, it turned into a ramp
Right.
at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, okay.
You probably could.
Oh, this was TRE.
Okay.
How did it become, I mean, because...
There was a miscommunication.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And we met with him.
What is your suggestion?
Suggestion, we go ahead, the original contract was for $4,400. This is $2,500 because he, in good faith, he did the work. And I think we need to pay him at least this amount of money that he paid for the lumber.
Right.
Is any of the lumber still usable?
Well, he was, no, it's not.
Okay.
But this says he kept it for whatever he could use it for.
Yes, ma'am. This is a project approved by the CRA.
Right.
And so-
We met with him, and there was no argument or
No, ma'am.
anything. He was perfectly fine with
That's-
whatever we came up with, so.
Well, if it was approved by the CRA, wouldn't,
It would have, it's the paying of the bill that would have to come here. And even if it went to the CRA,
The CRA
can't-
will have to agree to this, right? I mean, they will have to,
Yeah, I've already signed off on that.
The CRA, the
right,
check can come out and the CRA can ratify
Right, that's
the
what
I-
decision later because it'll come out of the CRA.
okay.
yo, yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me.
But all bills I sign off on.
Right.
This one I can't sign off on. This takes council action to say, go ahead and pay it.
I do have one question, though. I kept material per Amanda. He kept it, or we are keeping it?
The material he kept.
All right. Very good. Because we discussed us having to keep it because we purchased it, so.
And your city manager talked with the relevant department heads, and it's not something that
We could
would be
use.
able to
Very good.
reuse.
That's
So,
fine.
yeah, they did their due diligence.
Right.
Very good.
So we didn't have a plan. to build these steps?
Well,
I think.
I think it didn't go through the building department, and that was the biggest part. And it didn't come to the city because it was city property. Anything done on the city has to be ADA compliant. And so somehow we went from steps to this 45-degree ramp that couldn't stay there.
And he doesn't have a contractor's license, which we thought he did have.
Yes, ma'am, there's a lot of extenuating and mitigating circumstances there.
But he's done work for the city so long, there was no question about his doing the work.
But the work he always did was small projects that didn't require that kind of a license.
Right.
We are.
I understand that, yeah.
I think the solution to any further problems is in the letter you're going to get.
Okay. So you need approval from us?
Just to pay this, yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we approve check to be cut and signed by Mr. Booth.
Second.
All right, it has been properly moved and second that the contract for the James Paul Park steps be cut. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries 5-0.
I do think in the future, when we do stuff like this, even if it's somebody we have used in the past, I think we should start requiring proof of contractor's license or a copy of contractor's license.
Absolutely.
Before anything's approved.
Right, because it'll have to go through the building department.
That's what I was about to say.
Well, I was going to say,
I think we need to definitely make sure it goes to the building department.
We probably got caught in the turnover a little. I'm assuming some of this may be in the turnover of staff in building, but I mean, if you're going to do something, I'm assuming you have to bring in an engineering plan.
Yes.
Because of the federal requirements, ADA and so forth. So we just can't, I mean, hey, somebody's done something for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah,
we're not 20 years ago anymore. There's new regulations. We got to make sure we're up to speed. So, I mean, like Jason said, you got to make sure. And the deal, so. Okay.
Okay, moving right along to the next item, which is number 7. Consider a request from A.L. McBain High School Alumni Association Group for use of the Civic Center on August 26th with a waiver of the fees.
We generally waive the fees for these type of organizations or nonprofit or so. It's usually when you're having a birthday party or some kind of an event that you charge for. But this is that kind of event we normally waive, and it's usually the council that waives that fee.
They've done this before in the past.
Well, we sure have.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Any concerns or comments?
Mr. Dare, what time is this, you know? What time will it be?
Probably from 10 to 2.
2.
Any other questions? Comment? Concern?
Make a motion to waive the fee for A.L. McBain High School Alumni Association for rental of the Civic Center, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the waiving of fees?
Is it available that day, Ms. Palm?
It's already done. Uh-huh. Okay. I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
I did my part to it.
All right, it has been properly moved and seconded that the Alumni Association be allowed to use the Civic Center on August 26th with waiver of fees. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right, motion carries 5-0. Next item, number 8. Discuss and provide direction to staff regarding creating an interlocal agreement to provide $300,000 to the Rails to Trails project.
Yes, ma'am. I need the council to direct the attorneys to come up with an interlocal agreement to pay the county over a 5-year period, $300,000 out of wild space money, And in addition to put in the language that we will do some of the maintenance and pick up some of the trash along that trail.
Within the city limits?
Within the city limits, thank you.
Because what all is the county doing?
County is putting in 3.1 million.
I think that
Yeah.
3.1 million is the overall purchase price with
Right.
closing costs. And so the county originally asked for the city and the CRA to contribute. And so the city delivered letters to the county commission this week saying that both entities were willing. So the final motion from the county was to accept that the city would be providing $300,000 towards that purchase price and closing costs, but not to require the CRA.
So that's just to purchase the land.
And
Right.
this is
Yes.
just to purchase.
So that doesn't give us a real trail, that just gives us some land.
That gives you,
Yeah.
this is
Right.
land acquisition
Yeah.
at this point.
And that's a start. And what the county plan on doing is trying to get grants to
Right.
help put it in.
Yeah.
Which I think is, and speaking with Chuck Clemens, he's going to be pushing very hard to get some money to help us with this trail.
Now, several years ago, myself and Sue Weller went down and talked to Evans. He is the district engineer, they actually call him the secretary of this area, indicated that he had 10% of his budget to go to non-street projects. And this would be one of those projects that we would try to get some of that money.
Okay.
So with the, how many million you say the county going to put in?
I believe the purchase price is 3.1 million in some change.
Okay.
Right, I think you're right.
It is, that's full.
So that's going to be a
full price.
one-time,
That is a one-time, the project has to close by this December 2017, and the county will be using wild spaces.
okay.
And so the county obviously gets more wild spaces money every year than you do, and so that's why your manager was saying that what we'd be proposing to the county, we've discussed this with them, that we wouldn't be writing a check for $300,000 because you guys don't get $300,000 in your wild spaces. So the county can put up all of the funding, and we would have an interlocal agreement that would allow the city to pay the county over a term of years as we get wild spaces money in. And so right now, if you'll recall, you entered into an interlocal agreement with the county recently that was for basically a matching grant for a wild spaces project. The county agreed to pay you up to $350,000 for our High Springs project. So the plan would be that we would just amend that interlocal and add in the language there for the rails to trails acquisition.
Okay, because that's going to be my next question. How would that interfere with the other money we was trying to get from the county?
No.
Right, you're still going to get your matching grant funding of wild spaces money. And they understand that your contribution to this is solely coming from wild spaces.
Right, over a period of.
That's why you wouldn't be writing a check this December, because you've already earmarked your wild spaces this money for the High Springs project. And I think Mr. Booth has a couple of other wild spaces projects that, in the coming years, that some of your money is earmarked for. So if you're willing and you want to contribute, you don't have the funds to write that check.
Okay.
Right.
So over those years, Mr. Booth, we're going to be able to be able to afford other projects, because I know we had other projects on,
absolutely.
on the list.
And we will.
Okay.
And I think Jennifer probably knows those numbers. The original estimation was that you would receive about $260,000 a year in wild spaces funding. The projections now are that it's going to be over that. I don't know if we know what that number is.
I don't know the number.
So you should have a lot of money coming in every year. And if you did a 5-year repayment, you'd be looking at about $60,000 a year of that funding that you go to the repayment of the acquisition of this property.
You'd still have $200,000.
You still have at least $200,000.
At least $2,000 to complete the other projects, the lighting projects and the other things that we had on the line.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm pretty much in favor because they fought so hard. The Yellow Belly.
They were there
yes.
in full force the other night, too.
Yes, sir. We had about 50 people there.
Yeah, I'm going to take my foot out of my mouth because I just said, ain't no way possible the county going to change their mind. But
That was a shock. I think they probably got a lot of backlash on that.
I was surprised, so I owe them an apology.
So
No, you don't.
we purchase this land and the state never comes through with any funding or grants. Are we just stuck perpetually mowing the grass on this land for the rest of the city's existence, or?
So your city manager was talking about earlier that we would have an agreement with the county that would talk about what property the city would maintain, what the county would maintain, and I don't believe you were at the CRA meeting last week, but we had a young lady come up, and in addition to, I think, some of the state grant funding, there's some other organizations that are working to bring some funding dollars in, some bike groups.
Oh, and there's some volunteers who will, was it the Kiwanis Club, and what was the other letter we got from Lions Club? There's some organizations who are willing to come forward and volunteer their time to keep that up.
This is also something, so the CRA is not contributing to the acquisition, but this is something the CRA could consider down the road too in helping with that park, either in putting in the trails or maintenance of that. And the part of this property that is in the CRA district abuts your farmer's market area too. So that's kind of a project that the CRA could work on as well.
Mm-hmm. I believe we can do it one day. And I really believe that these trails will be used a lot. After watching so many people riding these bicycles these days, I mean, and then you got plenty of people walking these days, I think it'll be a great thing to pursue at this time. I really do think so. We're going to have faith.
I'm sorry.
I said we have faith in the state that they'll come through.
Well, they talked.
Not the county?
One of the ladies talked about, as a whole, as far as north central Florida, we'll hook up with a lot of others eventually. I mean, it will be a long trail.
Yeah.
A bunch of trails.
Well, it's also a long-term investment too. I mean, it isn't just fixing a roof here or doing this. What you're looking at is a long-term vision, something that you're going to invest the money in, which is going to be here long after we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it is something that it's worthwhile to that extent to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we need to do? Just authorize the city manager or the city attorneys to do it?
And we'll bring that back. I've spoken with county staff on this and would like to expedite this as quickly as possible to make sure that we can keep that closing date in December. So you should look to have this interlocal back before you in September.
Okay.
So we need a motion for staff?
Yeah, motion to direct staff to to come back with an interlocal agreement with the county.
Make a motion to direct the city attorneys and all appropriate staff to come back with an interlocal agreement with the Alachua County for the purchase of the Rails to Trails land.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's properly moved in second that we pay these $300,000 for Rails to Trails. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries 5-0. All All right. City Attorney report.
Nothing, Madam Mayor.
All right. City. Does that mean everything's going good? Man, City Manager's report.
Yes, ma'am. I need to talk about something that turned out to be a little controversial, and it is the water test for lead and copper. It shouldn't have been, but we were directed by DEP because we changed the way we did our disinfection from chlorine to hydrogen peroxide. And so they required us to go out to 23 homes and to do a lead and copper test. The limit is 0.15 per billion, and these 3 out of the 20 homes came in at 1.9, just slightly above what is allowed by DEP. You got to remember, since Flint, they have reduced those numbers way down. This is inside the house, and so it has nothing to do with our water system. It has to do with these 3 homes, and we want to know why, because we put Marigold in our water system that coats and keeps this stuff from happening. So we've had a hard time getting to a couple of these people because they're not home, and that may be some of the problem, is that the water wasn't being used and just sat there. They may have water softeners. They may be taking it out of faucets that didn't work. We know the water going in is okay because we took a test at the source or the water meter. It's okay. So we have 3 homes that have some problems in the home, not in our system. However, I have some people that are going around saying the sky is falling, that we have a bad system, and some of them have gone to the school. One has gone to the school. You have to be very careful because the Patriot Act covers this. And if it continues, I will go to the appropriate and file a charge, because you can't say there's a fire in a theater. You can't say the water system doesn't work. And so that is a warning. And I will take the chief with me, and we will file the appropriate. Yeah, I'm sorry he's in it, but we're going to get to the bottom for these 3 people. I mean, there's a reason, even though it's slightly elevated. And trust me, if we had a problem, DEP would be down here like gangbusters. And they would make you drink water from, well, of course, I don't consider that those are being real purified, but they would be down here. And they're not. They're not concerned. We're wanting to know why in those 3 houses. And we've been trying. But the problem is we can't get to them yet. They're not home.
So they're 3 older homes? Or?
Yeah, these are 3 older homes.
Okay. In the same area?
No, they're spread out. And that was the DEP's requirement, not to put them in one area, is to spread out the 23. But we'll continue. So that
we're having problem getting in touch with all 3 of them.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
The state informed me today, they informed Midtower today that we were approved with $1.71 million for the sewer plant in the wetlands. That's about a year and a half out. These projects, once they're approved, they have to go through numerous bureaucratic problems. We're now just starting and getting ready to go out for bids for the Camp Calaqua on that, but that is in itself taken over a year. And we've been approved by Phase A1, which is the Woods area, to bring in probably 200 homes into the system and to do away with their septic systems. But those take several years, and this one will take at least a year and a half. Right after this one, we're looking for approval for the expansion of the sewer plant and additional homes. So it's coming, but it just not fast enough. I need to commend the city workers. I mean, all of them were out there laying sod, and and we did finish that project, and we did.
All right.
But it took almost everybody in the city to be able to do it. Next time, we will go out for a contract.
You saying you're not going to let the athletic or the
he learned
Parks and Rec director
No,
talk
you know,
to
I think that's right.
We can do that, no problem.
Hard to tell someone.
Anyway, we got it done, and thanks for the, and this is one of those cities, when you have a water problem, everybody goes there. When you have a problem like sod, everybody pitches in and does it. And I really like that. It's really teamwork. And talking about teamwork, when we went and gave away the food from Food Share, the fire department was part of that, and their firemen were there too, and that looks good to the public. And so we'll continue with that every 2 months. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get more people. We have advertised, we've done everything we can do. So I guess those people that were there, and it has nothing to do with your economic level. Were Mercedes there. So, well, I mean, I guess you could be poor and have a Mercedes too.
Can't afford a home, but
that's right. But they give away really good food. I mean, this is all fresh, and they gave away 10 pounds of cherries. I mean, you could bake cherry pies.
Cherry tarts.
Yeah.
Cherry turnovers.
Yeah.
Anything you want cherry flavor.
There's a lot going on that day, Mr. Booth.
There's a lot going on, I know. But we're trying, and we'll still keep doing it. Because there's obvious a lot of people that really depend on it. And so we'll keep doing it, and it gives people an opportunity. The next iteration, I'm going to have the medical school come there and help, because they need those kind of hours also.
Good.
And so, yep, we can have the new doctors. And that's it.
So you got a date for the next one?
We have a what?
A date for the next one?
No, I don't have a date.
So as soon as you get a date for the next one, we can start putting those flyers out now.
We will.
As soon as the better.
Okay. Yes, sir.
The young lady that was out there Saturday said they were going to try and do it every other month. I don't know if she mentioned it to you or not.
Yeah, that's right, every 2 months.
Oh, okay, that's what she said. All right.
We'll try to do it at the same time, first week of the month, as we did this one, and then just perpetuate that.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Commissioners' comments, starting with Commissioner Jones.
I have nothing.
Okay. No.
I'm good.
All right. Moving right along.
when Byron's laughing, that means he's going to fall.
So, Mr. Booth, we still on for the 26th for the dedication of the?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we're talking about is the dedication of, I'm not going to say Jane Paul, but Walter Howard Park.
Walter Howard, that's it.
Yes.
Now, what time is that going to be?
2?
2 o'clock.
At the park. That's why I asked what time the fish fry was going to be. Okay. So 2 o'clock. Jenny, you got my message about the flyer? Nope.
Yes, I need to.
Okay. Also, I don't think they never did anything for us for the dedication of that park years ago. Because everybody asked around the community said no. And I wasn't aware that the equipment that was out there, the city didn't purchase that. The community purchased that equipment. But that's all good. And also, we're going to Mr. Walter Howard's daughter donated the land, but she's deceased now. But her daughter and I think her cousin or someone still living. So I was going to try to invite them to come.
You bet.
And with possible, Jenny, can we kind of give them a certificate of thank you to let them know we'll thank you for the park, if possible. It's looking nice.
It does.
Somebody said they're gonna have it worded by the 12th, but there's no way possible.
No,
No way possible.
26 is,
Yeah, it's 26th.
Can
So
do.
much better date.
we had a little bit of a sod problem.
Yeah.
However,
Okay. So
that's
July-
over, yeah, so.
Okay, so I'll get with you Monday, Jen, and then we'll try to put something together and for us a certificate. So can you find the paperwork that she donated that land, kind of dates and all that good stuff? Ooh, Lord.
He was back when Byron was young, you know, back when, look for the
They didn't have
files that are in
computers
stone.
then.
No. But I
Just
can,
put it in the computer and search
well,
for it.
most of the people that was part of that organization that put that equipment, they deceased too. But I will get with Cassandra Davis. I know her mother was a part of that. She may have some of her old records to from that club that donated the equipment. But it's got to be there, Jim, because one time they was talking about trying to give a piece of that land away, and then that's when we found out that there's no way possible they can give that part of that land away. If you do, there's restriction on it because if it wasn't a part, they have to give the land back to the family. So it's got to be somewhere on record. All right, that's all I have, man.
All right, thank you. All right, Vice Mayor.
Just one thing. Earlier tonight, when everybody was walking in, I saw a little baby running around. Well, not running around,
I
but
was trying
carrying
to
around.
say it
And I believe that's our mayor's newest addition as a grandchild.
That's my first great-grandbaby.
First grade. Okay. I just wanted to say congratulations to our mayor. And they look beautiful. And
That was 3 generations that you saw.
oh my God.
My son,
Yeah.
his daughter, and my great-granddaughter. Yep,
Congratulations.
yep,
Mayor.
thank you.
And that's it.
With his little chubby self. Thank you. All right, believe it or not, I got nothing to say. I'm gonna keep quiet.
Okay.
So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Stop.